developing its nuclear weapons program.
Assuming Iran did conduct the attack, what's their end game? What are they hoping to gain?
Well, that's interpretation, isn't it? I mean, they're not forthcoming. So the most easiest explanation to buy is that the sanctions imposed by the U.S. on the sale of Iranian oil and other sorts of business activities are really having an impact. It's causing some pain in the Iranian economy. And so this is a lashing out. It's a message to the U.S. and to trading partners and really the global community dependent on Middle Eastern oil that these kinds of efforts are harming Iran, and Iran has the ability to cause pain for other people. So it's an indirect way to get pressure on the United States to relieve these sanctions. So that's the easiest explanation. I think it could also be just the continued regional dispute between Iran and Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates and others, and that Iranian wants to be seen as an influential actor, and that it will do what it has to do to remain a voice, or an influence in that region. So that's, more close to home. And there's even, a third outlier here where the IRGC has had some disputes with the regime in Tehran, and the IRGC certainly has business interests of its own. And so maybe this was an independent operation to signal back to its own people that, we need to be a party at the table in these power broking and monetary sorts of discussions. Otherwise, we can cause problems for our own country. I mean, it's kind of an outlier, but you can't dismiss it totally.
What options does the U.S. have? Retaliation, sanctions, diplomacy?
Yeah, well, I think all the above, right? So you can continue to tighten the screws diplomatically, working with our partners in Europe and elsewhere to say, look at what Iran is doing and attacking the global oil markets, hazarding oil transport, ships where insurance rates go up, and that harms everybody. This is not a good friend. So, getting more people on the American side to enforce these sanctions. In terms of economic measures, the sanctions themselves, you not only keep them in place, but maybe you strengthen them even more. Expand to other markets other than just oil and some engineering stuff. And then certainly, kinetic, the military option. So if you think about Syria and Bashar al-Assad, the use of chemical weapons, the United States, got to a point where it sent in 90 or some odd Tomahawk cruise missiles against military facilities that are associated with those chemical strikes. So you could envision a response where the U.S. undertakes strikes against military targets that would be related to the oil tankers.
Dakota Wood of the Heritage Foundation, thanks for coming on and talking about this with me. I really do appreciate it, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And let's take a break.